Oh, hang on. I think I'm on the wrong screen. I think my dragon is too high. There we go. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the stream. I'm Vikova. You can call me V. Hopefully my audio is working. And yeah, today I'm streaming Windy Meadow. Hello and welcome to Daveface and Rowan and Calmly Enveloped and Annie and Talon. Hi. It's lovely to see you here today. Content warnings are on the screen right now. Yes. So, yes, I'm very much looking forward to continuing this slightly dark fantasy slice of life story that we're going through right now. I think it was interesting last session, and I'm interested to see where it goes. It's not going to be as long as Road Warden, but it's going to be a lot longer than the playtime suggests because I'm reading everything out loud. Before I jump in, I have a headache once again. I keep cancelling my stream because I keep having horrible headaches. Today it's not so bad, but in about half an hour I do need to drink my paracetamol. So if anyone wants to remind me if I'm not paying attention, I'm gonna need to take that. I know streamers are the ones who are supposed to give like the med and water check, but instead could you give me the meds and water check? That would be great. Alright, we're jumping back in. I think last time goblins, which are like apes in this world, we drew them out and tried to catch them on fire and accidentally set the fields on fire that everyone needs to survive. So off we go. I hit continue. I'm hitting, there we go. I don't remember any of the voices I was doing, so I'm just gonna have to guess. Rowan says, it's slice of life, assuming your life involves burning down the homes of all your friends by mistake. Exactly. It's just that normal, everyday, dark fantasy existence. So this is Calor. And we can't forage no more, and there are no mages to protect us. Half the folks who could fight the monsters have fled to the city. No one fled anywhere. They had to leave, that's all. This is your last warning, Calla. You won't interrupt me another time. That's our mayor. Friends, we're all tired and angry, but don't let your emotions take over. Be the sunbeam among the foliage, remember? Okay, that's the priest, I think, reminding us of the Rite's teachings. I'm not a big fan of the Rite after Road Warden when we played a pagan and the Rite was awful. But I know that it's like the dominant religion. Let's see. None of you is held in Windy Meadow against your will. At the same time, I won't order an evacuation without good reason. We have the sick and the elders to look after. I can't force them all to seek refuge in the name of our fear. Indeed, a rash choice would turn us into beggars and vagabonds. Let's discuss the threat at hand. Step forward, Latro. Why ask him of all? Forget it. You and Vina have killed a bunch of the goblins already. Are they even a threat? I can't say how many of them were taken by the fire, but judging by the number I've seen roaming around the woods in the last few hours, I reckon the remaining ones will seek revenge. Okay, that's our father. Can we stop them? If they're dumb enough to storm our walls. And what if the wrath of the herds follows suit? I'm just going to read this for people who don't know Road Warden. The more threatened animals feel, the more desperate they get, and they can even join forces to strike down human settlements. Every few years we hear stories of another tribe that was overrun by wild beasts, but it doesn't happen around here often. We're pretty close to the city walls. The wrath of the herds is a really fascinating element of this setting that I really enjoy, so yeah, just to keep everyone on the same page with that. So, and what if the wrath of the herds follows suit? Then, no. There's a blessing in disguise, though. The trolls had already devoured dozens of local predators, to the point that we needed to cease all hunting for a year or so. That's a risky gamble to take. Okay, I have an option. We could set up more traps, the stronghold will protect us, we know how to fight, or stay silent. I think we should set up more traps. That makes a lot of sense if we're worried they're gonna storm the walls. Story Dragon, hello! This is our land. We can place traps, stop the onslaught before it reaches our walls. Even if it were a sound plan, surrounding the entirety of our territory with moats and spikes would take years, and we have only a few days to act at best. Well, it sounds like we're not really going to be able to do very much. Maybe a few traps would be good, Lacerta. My question is, what went wrong? How did the fire get out of control? We should never have set them on fire. Point one. We just assumed they would run for the water. I don't really understand why we set them on fire. Whispers. Whisper, whisper, whisper. Okay. I think Arata has something to say. It's Latro's fault. That's what Nalia said. To be specific, I simply stated that Latro made a mistake. Care to elaborate? Well, he had no good reason to assume that these specific goblins were familiar with rivers or ponds. So this is Nalia, the old former Road Warden, I think. Rowan says Dad had a terrible plan and this was the consequence. I fully agree. Annie says you set them on fire because Gobbo's cute and friend. and you set your friend on fire, clearly. It was just a terrible decision that none of us wanted to take part in. Hang on. Well, he had no good reason to assume that these specific goblins were familiar with rivers or ponds. I guess nowadays the goblin packs are smaller than they used to be before the southern invasion. Back in the day, learning how to confront 100 of them was crucial for any fighter. Each goblin pack or tribe, if you insist, is different. They ought to be observed, studied, outsmarted. Before combat, we used to plan our steps for days. A bit late to spread the seeds of knowledge, wouldn't you say? I'm just an old drunk, am I not? Latro told me everything was under control. That's why I sold my sword in the first place. This isn't the right time to dig out old grudges. Nalia, once the meeting is over, could you spend some time sharing your insight with us? Better prepare some decent snacks. Meanwhile, the rest of us should gather anything of value we have left and secure it in the warehouse. Whoever lives outside of the palisade needs to be moved to the stronghold. The guards will help you. We'll do our best right after the meeting. I'm afraid there's one more thing we need to discuss. Please join us, Arata. Latro, Arata has decided to not seek retribution against you. We all knew that Lana had little time left. Oh no, did someone die? She used to babysit Lita, Victus, and me whenever our parents left for a hunt. The warmest and most cheerful soul I've ever met, but it didn't help her overcome her illness. Oh my gosh! Oh no! However, the wounds you carved in our tribe can't be forgiven. Are you ready to hear the council's judgment? I am. Mayor? We're going to trade your trophies for seeds and saplings from the neighbouring villages. If not for our own sake, then for the generation that is to come after us. As Lacerta describes the burden of Latro's mistake, from Salvia's burnt hut to the threat of starvation sneaking up on your tribe like a fog. Your father becomes smaller with every word. Oh wow. Hi Tula, welcome! Things have gone very badly. You try to pay attention, but each moment lasts for an eternity. You think of your mother, resting through her darkest days in the scarce luxury she has earned, and which she's now going to lose. You think of the chaos that's going to once again push Hostia into distress. Who knows if she's going to recover from it this time around? Of Lita's angry glances and the wall that grows between you. Of little Inmira and the desolation she's going to find when she wakes up. Of Latro's legacy, now shattered. Anger makes your breath warmer and louder. If you refuse to pay, you are to be branded as an outlaw. All tribes we can reach would hear of your banishment. Do you accept your fate, or would you rather take it to the judges in Veritas? I mean, we did bad. I'm staying silent. They're just like, they're gonna take our trophies, we'll be poorer, we did kill a person. And also those poor goblins. And also, this was all our dad's decision, which we did argue against. So, overall, I mean, what can you do? Stay silent. I accept. Of course, your fate shall not be shared by your family. We'll do our best to provide for Hostia and Predi. We're all in this together. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Arata invites you all to participate in Lana's passing rites. We'll gather at the cemetery once you all secure your possessions. Wow. For the first time in years, your dad remains quiet, observing the alleys of Windy Meadow with gloomy eyes. What's your plan? What now? Now I need to bring the news back to your mother. Then we're back to work as usual. Arata needs my help. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna need your assistance, at least for the next few days. That's fine. I'm not going to ask him for reassurance right now. Emotionally, he's taking the brunt of this. I was also part of all this. That's fine. Don't worry, Dad. It could be worse. And will likely get worse. Gather your sisters. Let's meet here in an hour. He's taking it pretty well. At least he tried to do something. I don't agree with that. But it's all an act. I don't know that he's taking that. He's only got himself to blame. I'm not ready to make such calls on my own. He's mostly got himself to blame. He was pretty hardcore about doing this. I'm gonna go with this. He made a mistake. He can't escape the truth. But it's all an act. It's not like he'd allow himself to cry about it. How are you, Vina? I feel like shit. Yes, I feel like shit. Life got very shitty very quickly. And in quite a few ways. I feel angry and lost too, but let's not despair. Together, as a tribe, we can hold on to hope. Maybe. The tablets say our souls are not that of a tiger or a dragon or a troll. We endure together and die as one. Anyone in your place would feel lost. If you need someone to listen to you without judgment. I'm just going to say I'll consider it, but I don't mean it. Please just go away. You mean this nicely. Thanks. I know where to find you. I need to stop putting my hand over my mouth while I speak. I don't know why I do that. This village is so small, you can just shout out my name. Why are you winking at me? Now is not the time. That's just a normal wink, right? I just want to check it with everyone. Because I keep getting... That's winks as well as ellipses are ones that always get me. See you in the evening. We'll fight shoulder to shoulder. Your spear, my sickle sword. We're just going to war with goblins and possibly all of wildlife now? This is awful. Annie says, what should not be normal about winking? I have a problem in video games. I've discussed it before, particularly with like ellipses, where I miss euphemistic dialogue. I don't realize it's euphemistic. So, and I know wink is one of those things where it's like, is it actually like a flirt or like a proposition? Not a preposition. Proposition. And like I can't always tell. Normal wink. Normal wink. Thank you. Rowan says shared humor wink rather than a leering wink. That's what I thought. But the ellipses have really... Oh yeah, the clip. Thank you, Calmly. Annie says, oh yeah, I typically don't get those, and I'm quite happy about that. Yeah. Having the right simply tell me what to do. Life would be so much easier. My entire family prays daily. Or is it a trap? If my whole family prays daily and everything sucks... I don't think it's a trap. My entire family prays daily. Do I want their confidence or acceptance? I guess Hostia doesn't pray much. Huh. Alright, we're out in the forest. You know what? This ain't the same sheep. It has brown dots on its backs, not black ones, and a white tail. It's our sister, Lita. She's older like us. So its sister has lured us toward her, as if to distract us. What a cunning, fluffy beast. Okay, there's like a dead sheep here. Okay. Calmly says, sincere, ellipses just generally scare me when people use them when talking to me because it's like some unknown thing. They either aren't going to, or are going to, and I always think it isn't good. I'm going to say, oh, yeah. I'm better with the trailing offs. I'm pretty good at telling when things are meant rhetorically or sarcastically or like, I'm good with that. Mostly. I think probably I'm not as good as I think I am, but I mostly am good with those. But it is a thing. Conversation is difficult. Anyway. Great. Now I'm getting outwitted by sheep. At this pace, we should be done with gathering this herd in 10 years or so. Are there no magical plants that could lure them to us? A sheep nip? Let's ask old Salvia. If she ever had such a thing, it's now lost to the fire. I'd rather not bother her. Okay, this is our little sister. So how can we find the others? I ain't sure, pup. Let's just do our best before sunset. I bet most of them died in the fire. Well, yes, but the hills kept the flames from spreading west, and the sheep know how to swim, though they can't outrun the cats and dragonlings that roam our woods. Tula says that's why people should say what they mean instead of resorting to some sort of guessing game. Yeah. I mean, I like, I was gonna say like idiom and humor, but also like, yeah, it's difficult and you have to be willing to explain. And are we gonna outrun them? The beasts are still in shock, so right now the woods are safer than ever. Just focus on the sheep. Don't worry, she won't go anywhere. Ain't that right, my pillow? Aww. Little sheepa. Hate to admit it, but Vina sounds wiser with every day she spends away from a bottle. What's your problem this time? Just saying. Please, wolves. This herd is worth 300 dragons, if not more. The more of them we find, the closer I'll be to paying off my debts. Flock, not herd. Sheep gather in flocks. Doesn't really matter. I'm Vina, I'm a dumb brute. I couldn't possibly memorize another word. I'm just going to ignore her. That's fine. Lita, I swear, is it too much to ask for a moment of silence? Sorry, father. See, I'm helping. The beast is under my charm, as tame as a lamb. It's saving strength for later. Avoid its bite. Dad, I see a Rattus griffin! Let it go. It doesn't need our protection. It may be afraid and turn hostile if we were to approach it. It ran away. I want a griffin. I want a griffin. Father, I'm going to marry Stabulus. You can't marry Stabulus. His name is ridiculous. Is this the time? Calmly says Dragon wants a griffin. Dragon does want a griffin. Tula says, is pie good for dinner? It's okay. Later. Why are we eating pie? Didn't you notice I looked up left for a split second when I agreed? And pitch of my voice dipped slightly toward the end? You never listen to me. Oh my gosh. That's so upsetting to hear. That's too real. Oh. He'll support me throughout my carpenter training. Once I start earning dragon bones, I'm going to help you. I won't let you struggle by yourself. And I guess I don't have any say in this matter. Sorry, this time I don't need your guidance. Then let me be the first one to congratulate you. I won't doubt your judgment. You and Stabulus are so cute together. I knew you were scheming something. Congratulate her, obviously. I wouldn't just say nothing. Best of luck, Lita. He's a kind soul, with a ridiculous name. Thank you all. I'm happy you're with me. And who knows, maybe Vina could chip in as well if she decides to work for the merchants. But for now, I'm sure I'll be fine even on my own. Yeah, I'll try. I'll try, but sending money through beasts and robbers is tricky. Better to treat my share as a bonus. Wise words, pup. What matters most is that we'll face our obstacles as a family. Dave's is a great name. My next D&D character name for sure. Stabulus. It does sound like a joke Dungeons and Dragons character. Talon says, oh gods, no, I can't even see people's body language. It can get so awkward at times. Oh no! Calmly says, I'm missing all your amazing jokes. Sorry, Calmly. Story Dragon says that ridiculous name bit was not there. It's true. I snuck it in. Dave says, I think I'll make him a wizard, but his parents wanted a rogue. You've redeemed the name. I love it. Annie says, body language? Wait, that's a thing? Physically seeing body language, unfortunately, doesn't let all of us understand it. I'm hyper-vigilant for body language, because I didn't really understand it, and it means I read too much into it, even when I think I understand it. It's like a whole thing. Communication. What the hell? Primordial Nightmare, hello. Okay, I'm gonna carry on. Thank you both. Your mother keeps saying that all of our daughters are the right's blessing, and I couldn't agree with her more. Time to move. Let's prepare to take this sheep away from here. Oh no, our little sister's crying! What? Oh no, is that the end of that chapter? Is she crying because we're all leaving, or just because everything's scary and awful? Why are we leaving with our sister crying? I think we're on to the next character. Fable, the storyteller. Were they named Fable? This is important. 10 years ago? This is Dad. Focus on my voice. Once I set you free, we've got to run. Run! Is that clear? Don't take anything with you. Okay, our house is on fire. It looks like our mother and father are outside. Rowan says that was abrupt. It was! Okay, and there's Fable as a child. And Nanny? She'll be fine, sweetie. Think about the jar of honey that's waiting for us. What is that? What can I do? Keep watching. Shout if you see anyone. Fable, is the fire close? Can you breathe? I don't know. I guess. Stay calm. Oh gosh, a bandit just walked behind the house. Hey, that priest is fighting them off. Almost done. Yes. Let's get out of... Oh! Okay. They've been axed to death. Now, what do we have here? Going somewhere. Is this the raider? No, I'm not afraid. I can fight. Sure, pal. Want to stay here? You don't even need these legs. What the... What? Oh. Should have run when you had the chance. What? Okay, someone just walked up and like blow darted the raider. Kid, still with us? I could use a guide. At least you're breathing. I can't carry you around or the raiders will kill us both. And you won't make it through the woods anyway. A wingless crow can't defend its eggs, say the tablets. Though how does it end? But it would still try to do so. Okay, a priest. Fine. But once we get jumped by beasts, you're on your own. Alright, we've been saved by a battle priest. Meds in 5 minutes. Thank you, Dave. Rowan says, just your slice of life where your parents are murdered in front of you and then you're maimed. Yep, just normal slice of life. This is the slice of life Viaticum story, and it feels a lot darker than Road Warden even. Which is not slice of life. Okay, we're back with Nalia. Is this really the best time for daydreaming? I was thinking about my parents. I was thinking about Little Oak. I wish my parents could see me now, next to an old manuscript and a wax tablet. Your uncle says that you've always been a smart kid. I'm sure your kin had high hopes for you. If so, why is it taking me so long to learn how to read and write? Is it? It was even more difficult for me. Go on. It took me more than a year to learn the basics. I used to travel with this scholar, never mind his name. He would show me this and that whenever we shared a table at an inn. Sounds like a story. A year-long journey? I want to hear that story. Sure, as long as you won't ask me to go into detail about the days I wasted waiting for the herbalists I was protecting. They had to pick the plants at just the right time. I'll do better? What? I don't really feel like any of these follow, but that's fine. I'll do better. I'm sorry. I'm getting tired, but I'll pay attention. It is getting late. Be proud of yourself. We're making progress. Were you able to keep up with my dictation? I'm trying to make the letters smaller, but can't find enough space to fit them in a row. That's completely normal. You'll figure out the proper shapes and sizes with practice. Time's on your side. Can't I use a bigger tablet? We've got plenty of wax in the village. It'd slow down your progress. You'd get used to shabby letters. Also, clearing the old letters is a pain. Takes me almost as much time as writing does. And it'd only take you more time with a larger tablet. It's all right, Fable. No need to rush yourself. You're doing fine. Nothing about this is fine. Could someone care about my time? Why can't Vates practice with me instead of sending me to someone who knows as much about teaching as I know about swimming? Anything else? You may be young, but I'd advise you to temper your tongue. Don't force others to deal with your shit. I don't want to lie. We're a family. These are weird responses. Meds time. Oh, heck, it's meds time. Okay, everybody, 1 second. Just listen to the music. I'm just gonna mute and sip. Ugh. Okay, thank you all very much. I've taken it. It was not very pleasant, but it could be worse. I don't want to lie. I don't want to lie to other people. You expect everyone to be constantly curious about your feelings. I just want to have an option to take off my mask from time to time. I'm exhausted by this forced kindness. Oh my gosh. The option to take off my mask from time to time? Once again, thinking back to Eudosha, who was 100% autistic from Road Warden. Is the creator of Road Warden autistic or knows autistic people? Because that's just straight up like that's very real. Kindness doesn't have to be a lie if you truly respect the other side. True. bards shouldn't be fake. Bold take. This is stupid. I'm sorry for my outburst. I want to apologize. I didn't want to... I know. It's fine. But I think we're done for today. You could use some fresh air. I should filter out the sediment from my grain beer. Say hello to Vates for me. Your aunt says your name quietly. Her voice is clouded with doubt. I'm going to turn around. You called me Auntie. We all have our limitations, but feeling guilty about it won't help you. You're trying your best. You'll figure out how to read and write in no time. This conversation was confusing to me. Dave says, how long has he been here? She hasn't put in a ramp? That is a great point. Oh, it's Stabulus! Hi there. Enough studying for today? Yeah, another lesson, another headache. I warned you. Even in Baratus, almost no one reads. Reading manuscripts will help me learn more stories, and about taking notes. Yet, even for a bard, it's quite a rare skill. Most storytellers repeat what they've heard from one another, only pretending they know what they're talking about. Trust me, I would know. But having no legs, I'll see fewer things, face fewer adventures. I need to rely on knowledge to even the odds. Only if you're determined to stay on this path. I am, for now. But since you mentioned it, have you spoken with Lita? I sure did! She's not going to work at the inn for much longer. She's planning to spend some time learning from the carpenters. What carpenters? There may be no masters in the village, but Castus, Calla, and Sulcus all know this and that. It's enough for her to get started. But she'll have to travel to another tribe in a year or two, maybe even to the city. That sucks. Yeah, but she's got talent in her hands and will return here after her apprenticeship. For now, I need to find another kind soul for hire. This is a weird way to talk about the person you're engaged to. Aren't they getting married? Annie says masking isn't just an autism thing, also a thing with some other neurodivergent people. It's extremely true. Extremely true. It's also quite a thing, I think, for people who have chronic illnesses or chronic pain, masking as a way to kind of keep your state private. My sister does it a lot, and she's not autistic. But the way it exhausts her and the way she has to kind of pretend to be different than she is it's very similar to masking for me as an autistic person. Rowan says, is this set earlier or at the same time as the Vina chapter? I don't know. I don't know. And you still think it should be me? Indeed. I teach you everything I know about running an inn. Want to start coming in the evenings? That's nice and all, but don't be silly. You can't bring folk mugs of ale or stand up to the drunks. I thought you just wanted me to help you clean up the rooms every now and then. Have some mercy. You want to be a bard with an imagination this small? If you were to run your own inn one day, you'd hire someone to move the tables for you. I don't really like the framing of this where everyone else is like telling Fable how to feel about his trauma and disability. I think it's meant positively, but yeah. And in the meantime, you'd keep the place spinning. Take care of the planning, counting, letters, and busy work. Talk to the guests, tell them stories. You'd save quite a few coins. Keep the place spinning. Get that from the sissy. Don't judge me, I had to learn a whole bunch of old sayings from your tribe too. Nevertheless, I can't spend my days studying, reading, writing, playing the flute, and doing chores, then end up here each evening. I've got my limits, and I need to get ahead of all the other travelling talkers. Working at an inn, you'd hear more stories than you can store in your skull, both from distant lands and from the people struggling with day-to-day problems. You'd gather news, jokes, and rumours from the entire province. For a storyteller, there's no better place to be than an inn. It's not enough. I need to be better. Yeah, this may work. I don't like the framing of any of this! I don't want to work at the inn. I don't like this guy trying to force us to work at the inn. I guess I need to be better, but that's not really what I mean. Simple stories from the common folk won't cut it. I need to do my best to master my craft as soon as I can. So you think it's an either or? Yeah. I can't learn 2 trades at once. For me, it's better to make a simple song that an entire tribe could dance to than to put together a masterful folktale that'd get lost among some rich man's manuscripts, locked in a chest like a pretty jewel. But you've got to be your own soul, of course. Think about it for a few days, will you? I need to hire someone right away before Ivolo's wedding. The sooner you decide, the better. Are you going somewhere? Soon. I need to wipe the tables and sweep the floor. So, Nalia's sword. I'm not going to ask her to let me hold it. It's her favourite toy. Okay, this is set before, because Nalia's sword hasn't yet passed to Latro and family. So, what do you mean? You know, she waggles it around or polishes it. She doesn't even seem to notice it. Why do you keep nagging me about it? About a sword made of cold steel. I want to hold it, of course. I want you to break the ice for me. Oh, what's this cold steel exactly? Some sort of magic that darkened the blade? I'm not sure. A rare alloy from the growing mountains, I think. People say it stays sharp for generations and is lighter than a stick. I bet those are all lies. It used to be the most famous blade in Beritus. Nalia lent it to the officials for parades and such, for dragon bones, of course. One of the paintings I have was meant to portray a similar weapon, but I don't think it's very accurate. Why does my aunt even have it? She finds it in an old treasury? You want to read ancient scrolls when you have legends within reach of your fingertips. So share a legend with me, Stabby. Stabby! Why is his name Stabulus? I don't know all the details, and I have to visit a rata before the evening, buy a sheet from her. Stabulus! Your name's Stabby, and you desperately want this sword? Okay. I mean, I shouldn't judge. The way I named my necromancers in Toontown was deliberately kind of over-the-top, goofy, villainous, and I had a great time with it. But Stabulus is still getting to me. I wish he had a sword. It would make it better somehow. Can't you make up a fine story on your own? I need to know the truth to invent better stories. Sure. I need my stories to carry some truth in them. Others would mock me if they were to catch me mumbling nonsense on the stuff I know nothing about. Who cares? Just say you made it all up. Give people a bit of fun. I don't think it would work in the long run. You'd be surprised. Well, see you soon, Runt. Enjoy dusting the shelves, big guy. Nobody's installed a ramp. Ugh. I'm back. And I was just leaving. Would you like a sandwich? Thanks, I hate cooking while I'm hungry. We're out of fish. I'll bring you another one in the evening. That's fine. So the priest is the guy who rescued us. The priest from the village previously. How was your day? Slow, as always. I helped with flour grinding, went for my lessons, and had a chat with Stabby. Stabby. Mm-hmm. Could you organise our clothes, check them for bugs? They're getting all rumpled in the closet. Sure. Are you heading for the cemetery? Nah, I have a few tough conversations ahead of me. Victus says he's trapped. Errata feels hopeless. Evolo needs some advice tied to his savings. I don't know what that's all about. Oh well. I'll be back in a couple of hours. Good luck. I almost forgot. Castus could use some help with candles the day after tomorrow. Great! Aunt Nalia will be busy that day. I can take some extra work. Such a simple job won't earn you a dragon, but you'd get some apples and honey. That's fine with me. Can't fill up a stomach with bones, am I right? I'll let them know. Have fun cooking. Time is passing. Primordial says with the amount of stairs here that people really need to ramp it up. Still awake? Good, we need to have a talk. Huh? I ain't done with my chores yet. I'll help you finish them. For now, let's go to the backyard. I want you to pay attention. What are we paying attention to? Rain sounds! Oh, my beloved. Sitting on the porch in the rain. The perfect activity. What was that sound? Goblin? Oh, I'm just enjoying the rain. Did something happen? I went to see Nalia. She told me about your doubts. And apparently you're mad at me. You mentioned that I should be your teacher. I'm not mad at you. I'm not mad, at least not at you. I'm sick of wasting time in a small dark room. I want to create stories, start my adult life. Dave says Stabulus is actually his second name. His first name is Stabby. Stabby Stabulus, innkeeper. Sometimes composing a story takes sitting down in a small dark room. And a lot of work. In my experience, composing a story always involves sitting down in a small dark room and a lot of work. Understatement. Oh, Annie says Stabulus McStab face. It grows. The legend grows. Nalia told me the same thing. And also this weird voice in my head. Sorry, that's me. She used to be quite an adventurer and faced more nightmares and wonders than you can think of. She's not a scholar, but has her own unique tale to share. She doesn't really tell me much about storytelling. She's all about writing and the language of the tablets. The language of the tablets? The language used for the ancient manuscripts used by priests and scholars, but not by regular folk. Thanks to the time I spent in a priest's house, I've got an ear for it. The language of the tablets. Dave says, in my experience, it involves a lot of sitting down in a dark room and a lot of procrastination. I'm not sure about the work part. The procrastination comes first, then the writing. Then the work. Talon says the fabulous Stabulus family. Oh. Tiny Tula says originally from Stabra. Stabra! I love it. So I'm really interrupting this dramatic story. I don't regret it, but I talked with her about it. I think you're going to enjoy your next lesson. Be open to what she tries to show you. Don't grow too attached to my thoughts on things. The world is much larger than what I can tell you about it. I don't think she's all that interested in the right and their teachings. Well, it crushes my heart. It's even better for you. You're ready to listen to different perspectives. Figure out your own truths. All eyes are blind, but a fresh pair reveals new truths, says the tablets. I'm worried about her. A soul her age shouldn't spend their days shut in a house. She lives so close, but is still a stranger in our tribe. Don't judge people being shut up in houses. Some of us just can't leave. Can you blame me for using the opportunity to have her spend time with one of our brightest? I guess you're helping both her and me? Sure. I guess it's good that she talks to someone, though she thinks she's paying off her debt to you. Dave says his family were magicians for generations. They even coined the phrase Stabra-cadabra. Tula says this is a dramatic moment in the story and we're just poking fun at the names. Or dare I say, stabbing fun at the names. Oh! Rowan says some of us just like being shut up in houses. The truth. I would like to be shut up in my house a lot less than I am. I'm sort of forcibly shut up inside by my anxiety. But even if I was free to go out all the time and I wasn't as trapped as I am, I would still spend a lot of time just home, quite happy. Good. There ain't many stories about helping out lonely elders, but in the eyes of the right, it's no less important than facing the largest trolls. Let's keep this conversation between us. Nalia is cranky enough as it is. Right, I'll sit here for a few more moments. The sky looks lovely tonight. Yes, Fable! Rainy skies are the best skies! Although it's pretty clear of clouds to be raining this much. Aww. Tommy says I'm shut up in my house because there's a pandemic. That's a great reason. I definitely am not going as many places because of that. But I'd like to go outside more. Rowan says Merlin needs you. He does! Feeling any better today? Ain't feeling worse. Truly, you're indistinguishable from the rest of our family. I'd offer you a juniper drink to lighten up the mood, but we should keep our eyes clear for the lesson. Stabulus says that real scribes drink mead and ale daily, and even wine, especially the monks from the Orders of Truth. Don't listen to Stabulus! I don't think that guy knows what he's talking about. I don't trust that guy. Talon says, love the cozy sound of soft rain and rolling thunder far away. Absolutely. Dave says, I do like rain, but lightning will always be a winner. I do love lightning and thunder, but I like rain best. Manuscripts are too valuable to allow such negligence. Not the ones I have, of course, but most codices reach prices comparable to those of weapons enhanced with magic, or to chitin armor. No monk would be allowed to bring a chalice of wine into the scriptorium. I've guarded 2 or 3 monasteries, I'd know. Don't listen to any piece of gossip thrown at you by an innkeep, especially one named Stabulus. I added that, I'm sorry. I can't help myself. Oh no, then she says even one as trustworthy as Stabs. No, Nalia! And now, let's get to work. This time I've cleared all the tablets. That's great, but today we're going to do something special. Quill sharpening? Better. I've prepared a few interesting stories for you, ones much more complex than our regular reads. I'd like you to read one out loud, and then we'll have a bit of a discussion. Book club! Dave says Stabby stabs Stabulus. Talon says, why is Stabs not a rogue? I mean, he should be. It's a mystery, truly. Where did you get them? I brought a few tales I enjoy, as well as my own notes. I've gathered some of them from bards and travellers, and others from various manuscripts. Your dad wants me to share them with you. My uncle? No, smile. We're just gonna smile. So, what are my choices? Let's have a look. The first one is a legend about a king from a distant realm of sand dunes, far away from here, and about his treacherous architects. People call it the Ever-Waiting City. I bought these parchments from a retired adventurer. Back then, I was but a young mercenary. I marked the second story with a bookmark. It's from a journal written by a travelling monk who used to study the southern tribes. He describes a tribe that believes all beasts and humans are reborn at every sunrise. That sounds cool. But since he was infamous for his lies, what we have here may be the only remaining copy of his work. He was infamous for his lies? This sounds great. The pages are much older than the cover. My daughter had rebound them some years back to protect them from further degradation. The last tale is... I'm not sure what to call it. I don't want to spoil the surprise. It's about a rich man who lived alone in the woods until he met a rather mysterious spirit. I do love mysterious spirits! I heard this tale in a roadside inn during a freezing winter. I was supposed to copy it to parchment, but I've never found the right moment. Go ahead. Pick one. Alright, everyone. Do we want the ever-waiting city, the lying monk's journal, or the tale about the rich hermit who meets a spirit? The lying monk appeals to me, but I'm curious about... I just like a spirit. So I'm also interested in the rich hermit story. 3 votes for the rich hermit, 1 vote for the ever-waiting city. Dave says it's at least half our vibe. We all relate to the hermit. We don't relate so much to the rich. 2 votes for ever-waiting city. Okay. I'm also leaning rich hermit, so we're gonna go rich hermit. Now I'm intrigued. I want to know what happened to this lonely man. Here you go. This happened before the woods gave way to the 10 cities, before the fire overran the growing mountains, and before humans learned how to write on sheepskin. Tula says, I guess the city has to keep waiting. Wait, where's the story? Try to summarize the tale. The most important bits will do. It may be difficult without quoting it. It's a fairy tale, but not like those people say to their children. It was written with great care. Try your best. Focus on the events, not the style. It takes place in ancient times, somewhere in the deep woods. There was this brave young prince, a warrior, who grew disgusted with the wars and greed of the tribes. He left them to themselves and decided to live as a hermit. Something important happened before that. Right. Before he left, his father, the chief, insisted that he should take precious gems and rings with him. At first he made a tent out of a spruce tree, then a cabin, then a stone watchtower. He turned his lands into fields and pastures and hunted for many fish. Dave says the full title of the story is Eat the Rich, Become the Hermit. He had many visitors eager to learn from him, but the stories they shared with him were filled with cruelty. The prince was convinced that he made the right choice. He was also warned about the strange dwarf, a man more cunning and treacherous than any human, who robbed many local villages. Time went by, and this short, sturdy man indeed approached the watchtower. While he looked like the dwarf, he was kind and witty and seemed to be interested only in having a friendly chat. He claimed to be a travelling sage who had made a camp in a nearby cave. He wanted to exchange tales, memories, and rumours. What was that sound? Oh, Nally is playing with the sword. I got it. The hermit kept his distance, talking with the traveller only from the top of his tower. They had discussions about farming, about the songs of birds, about virtue, and about the nature of the spirits. One day, the prince heard a pained scream. He went downstairs and opened the tower, only to find out that the man was fighting a large bear folk, bleeding and without a chance. The hermit rescued his friend and took him home. That's when the dwarf drew his dagger and cut the prince's throat. The fable even mentions that he bled out like a boar, even though the previous parts are much more whimsical. Whoa! And from that point on, the tone changes completely. Indeed, it stops being a fairy tale and gets oddly specific and direct. The last tablet describes how the dwarf claimed the prince's possessions. His tower became the bandits' hideout. The tribes had the option to either join them, aiding them with supplies, or to get pillaged and lose everything they had. The dwarf became a powerful king, and his dynasty rules to this day, waiting for the day of judgment. Why did you quote that part? It concludes the entire story. It seems important. And what do you think this tale is about? Okay, do we think it's about the power of cruelty? It's about bad things happening to good people? It says that outsiders deserve mistrust? I don't know. I mean, the moral of the story does seem to be outsiders deserve mistrust. But that's a horrible thing, and I don't know whether that reflects on what we understand the story to be, or whether it's supposed to reflect our outlook. And I don't want our outlook to be, it says outsiders deserve mistrust, but it does seem like what it means. Story Dragon agrees. Rowan says it's a horrible moral, but still, I mean, that seems like what it means. We're gonna go with that. It says outsiders deserve mistrust. It's a tale about a brave, kind, wise man who suffers because he put trust in someone who's not normal. An ugly dwarf. Ugh. Ugh. A classic beware of outsiders story. Or beware of those who are different. Ugh. Okay, we agree with it. Okay, we're on the side of the dwarf. I get it. I'm sorry, Fable. I didn't expect you'd feel a connection to a dwarf. What? Nalia, stop swinging that around. And I guess you're right. There's no good reason for this character to be a dwarf. It could be any average person. It's a story about their deeds, not looks, after all. Yes. I've actually hidden a very important part of this tale from you. Its title. Next time, I'll pick a more thoughtful story. The bard who shared this story with me was its author. It's a tale about the first invasion that the 10 cities and their emperor waged on the southern tribes, including the bard's own people. I've heard about it from Vates, but it happened centuries ago, correct? If not 1,000 years ago, maybe there's a manuscript that recorded the time of the first strike. The dwarf represents the 10 cities, both us and our rulers. The prince stands for the tribes who joined us against our common enemies, the bear. With our combined strength, we crushed our enemies, and then we betrayed our allies, stealing their lands and treasures. That is how we cleared our path to the south. That's horrible. I've heard people saying that the southern invasion was the right's punishment for the sins of our ancestors. I won't pretend I know if that's true. Still, other tribes don't see us as we see ourselves. Their children grow up afraid of the sea, knowing our soldiers may once again land on their coasts, seeking loot and slaves. Oh my god. Try to remember it. So, what do you think about this tale? Did you like it? Its real title is The Rise of the 10 Cities. What? No, I didn't like it. I did not like it. That was awful. Not really. Not really. It encourages mistrust. Click. I don't understand why it had to be a dwarf. It will make people even more distrustful of outsiders. You're right, I think. I guess I've some thinking to do as well. We'll see each other the day after tomorrow, correct? I'm looking forward to it. Ask Vate to give you some time to practice on your own. I won't have much time to spare. I'm gonna help Castus and Mita with candles. How convenient. For our lessons, we'll need a few tallow candles. Just tell them I don't need any of those fancy wax ones. I will. See you. Right. Okay. That cat is always asleep at Nalia's house. Much like my cat. Spent the whole day either locked in the stronghold or warning folks about the goblins, and I'm still not done. This is Firma, this is like a young village guard. Okay. How bad's the situation? Wait, are we back? What? Fairly bad. We just discussed it at dinner with my father. There's a few dozen of them. Okay, so this is Lita, who was Vena's sister and Stabulus's girlfriend/engaged? So, no more gatherings at the Big Rock, huh? May want to stick to the walls for the next few days. At least you won't have to wash mud off your car. I'm getting a bit worried about all this. Is this wait, were we now in... This is the conversation that started Venus' story. Venus listening. Oh, thank you, Rowan. Okay, I'm getting a bit worried by all this. It's getting a bit scary out there with the goblins, the lumberjacks, and Victus leaving and so on. Kind of, but let's not overblow it. We've got some ways out. We'll get back to smoother days soon. Yudusha's wedding ain't far away. Never pegged her for someone who'd be interested in a marriage, to be honest. Can't blame you. Not afraid of busy work? I don't know where this is. This conversation makes as little sense. The conversations in this section make as little sense to me as many real conversations have made, where I'm like, I don't understand how that follows that, but okay. Since all I do is help others with tiny tasks, I don't mind a few annoyances. Gets rough when it rains, doesn't it? What? Yeah, it ain't so easy to ride uphill even on dry ground. But better than that than sticking to the cobblestone. Okay, we're talking about our cart. Kind of weird the elders don't try to pave the paths. Would make your life easier. Yeah, what the heck? Pave the paths! Lie, I don't mind. I'm gonna say there are always excuses. Fate's tried to speak out for me, but there are always excuses. Hard to get the stone nowadays. We lack strong arms that we could put to work. Maybe next year, but for now we've got the wall to fix. Bit harsh. The worst one was, a harpy will swallow him sooner or later, a waste of effort. Oh my god, what? Shit, who said that? I shouldn't say. I see. Oh, sigh. Oh well. Got some news for you. I'm hearing some promising glee in your voice. Guards told me they'd help me get a job in the city. No way, with Vina? Nah, nothing like that. Or maybe a bit like that. They want me to join the army. A pretty big deal. Would be. Not that I'm going to take the job, though. Whew, you scared me for a moment. But still, why not? Liking it here. Simple as that. Don't you want something, I don't know, more? And somewhere where people aren't horribly ableist? I just added that, but like, the truth? Like what? Adventure coin, new people. New people seems a bit rude, but then the people here suck! New people! You'd get to know new folks. And not just farmers and hunters. And massive ableists. Farmers and hunters are my best friends, thank you. I'd sooner get looked down upon by the rich folk and get invited to join them at the table. Family? Adventure? You'd finally get out of here, see the world, experience an adventure or two. When was the last time you saw me bored? Got stuff to do and always will. Won't matter if I'm here or elsewhere. Coin? I don't know. You'd get good pay, could enjoy some nice food and drinks for once. I might say no to a cup of mead, but I don't care about that as much. As long as I ain't hungry, I'm fine. Safety. Coins would give you more than comfort, they'd protect you too. But for a price, I talked with a few folks about it. Cities ain't free, army ain't free. Soldiers beg to be sent to places like Meadow. Ain't kidding. Seriously, nothing? Really? Can't you think of anything? If I have to come up with something. I'd like to get more spices from overseas. I quite like Firma. Dave says, fable. The people here are crap, the food here is crap. Yeah, apparently. I'll second that. In winter all we got are dried herbs. I've known for so long that I want to be a bard. And even more so, I want the life that goes with it. I'm young now, but after another few years, I don't want this place to choke me. Meh. Most days are the same, but I've got my food, a warm inn, friends. Life's good. What did I scare you with, leader? You're one of the last few souls here that don't annoy me. Good to know you're staying. Ain't you a flatterer? I like our neighbours. They're friendly and don't hold grudges for long. Firma, did you not hear that someone here said that they're hoping your friend will be eaten by a harpy just because he uses a wheelchair? Did you not pick up on that? Oh my gosh. I do still like you, Firma, but they're not that nice, these people, apparently. They're actually, like, really horrible. Calmly says, Firma sounds like she's a woman of the earth. Hehehe. But they make stupid mistakes, just saying. And learn from them. Won't get much more from the other tribes. Some tense moments at home again. They hardly ever end nowadays. Innie can't wake up. Mother needs washing and feeding. Father is either in the woods, at the inn, or talking to Priest Vates. Hostia still gets into her sad days. Oh, her sad days. That's the little sister. Oh no. Dave says Firma is just a poor judge of character. Yes. And Vina is... let's just say she doesn't help. And how are you holding up? I'm good. Hopeful. Unlike our dear Firma here, I ain't gonna take things as they are. I'll either fix them or make them change. Kind of why I hope you're going to work with Stabby after all. Why is his name Stab? How are you marrying this man? It's good having you around, Fable. I don't think it would make me happy. I get it. I want to make chairs, cut wood and all. I don't want to just be. Still, an opportunity. It is. But it ain't the same as storytelling. Is that really the only path for you? Either you get to be a bard or live unhappily? Quite the weight on your shoulders. My parents died to give me this chance. You see, it's because it's hard to explain it. I bet. Don't worry though, you're not on your own. They're back again. But you know the relief won't last. What a great night to run. I think we're dreaming. To jump. To fall. To rise. But after all this, you wait, for the next part always comes. You can't escape it. They want you to do something, but offer no explanations. I should enchant them with a made-up story. I need to make them accept the true me. Accept the true me. Each word brings pain, but also comfort. You're getting closer to the shapes, yet you can't help but fear rejection. You're alone even before the crowd leaves you. I shouldn't be here. But then again, I am. Day 3. Calmly says they want you to do something but offer no explanations. My life? Absolutely. Fable. This is rich guy Evolo. I was just hoping to see you. Hello, neighbour. Picking up the supplies? That's the mayor. Just a bag of groats and 2 trouts from Limos. Good to see that you're keeping yourself busy. Other youngsters are getting anxious, but life must go on. I assume you mean this thing about the goblins. Indeed, but don't worry. So far we've got it under control. It seems like this pack is more used to water than fields and clear land. Even if they attack us, we're going to be ready. Latro plans to flush them out before they settle in for good. On the good side, if the troll assault wasn't enough to inspire you, you may have another opportunity now. Maybe the troll story is a bit short, yeah. Well, it's true that the troll story is a bit short. You could use a few more details, like another chapter. Why not just spice it up a bit? I don't know. It doesn't feel right to lie like that. Well, I should change my boots and examine the walls. I wish you both good luck. See you at the Tasty Claw after dusk, Avolo. I'll be there. I wanted to ask you for a favour. I'm listening. You're coming to the wedding, right? I'm helping with the preparations in the morning, remember? Just wanted to be sure. The problem is we won't have much entertainment. The harp player we were counting on broke his arm on his last job. I ain't that good with my flute. The tunes I play assist my stories. They won't do much for the dancers. That's what I've heard, but your dad told me you're a pretty decent storyteller. He did? Would you like to perform for maybe half an hour for our guests? It's still more than 10 days away, and you'll have time to prepare yourself. I'd be honoured. It would be an honour. I'll do my best. That's a huge relief. I owe you one. This is quite the opportunity. My friends whispered to many ears and buried us. Okay, cool. And if you were to make a bad impression, worry not. Those pricks don't expect anything of worth to come from such a tiny village. Aside from food, maybe. Relax and do your best. More like get anxious right here, right now. Thanks. Would be worse if I were to surprise you right before your performance. I guess. I won't keep you anymore. Groats and trouts, you said? Tell the traders I'll cover the cost. Buy yourself a few prunes, too. This guy's, like, quite wealthy, I believe, but he's quite nice. Calmly says, oh no, not the leaning down, so ableist. I didn't even notice that I was reading. I ain't confident Vates would be happy about such gifts. Nonsense. Treat it like a gift basket for a priest. Just stay away from the mead. Thank you. Though I should hurry now. I'm expected to work at the candles today. Watch out for the hot tallow. Okay, we continue on. Meter. A local farmer married to Castus. Like me, she used to be a part of another tribe. She never skips an opportunity to ask the travellers for news, but on the other hand, she never joins us during our prayers and rituals. She's so pretty. Right on time. Pudens. Hi. A brute and a simpleton? What? Whenever I work for Castus and Mita, I hope he'll stay away. Even though he's 2 years younger than me, he towers over me and rests his hands on his sides to look even larger. He seems friendly. Afternoon. Am I late? Not at all, Fable. We just started earlier. Make yourself comfortable. Aunt Nalia mentioned she's also in need of a few cheaper candles. Vates, on the other hand, needs the yellow ones for the wedding rites. This is Castus. We'll manage. I'm working with beeswax. It needs a bit of care. You'll handle the tallow. And we're preparing some nice cotton wicks. Can't the priest use cheap candles? No one will smell them outside at the wedding. It may rain, you know. But that's just how it goes. Before you enter this new path, you spend more than you need to. Show that you're not afraid of the future. Still, the stench of tallow is quite something, so Fable will get good pay. Start whenever you're ready. Okay, we're just like dipping candles right now. Oh yeah, there's like a ring-tailed lemur on the roof. Good point, Dave. That's for sure a lemur. How are the book lessons going? Lie pretty well. We'll just keep saying the truth. I'm sick of them, I guess. But I thought we enjoyed the last one. Why? I don't like these options. I'm sick of them. I'll tell the truth. They're boring. I'm repeating the same tasks every day, and it still may take me a year or so before I'm done. I have to learn the language of the tablets and all sorts of weird signs scribes use to write less. I knew it would end up like this. Don't be like that, love. Fable should be proud, chasing knowledge like that. Did you know Castus can write his name? Oh no, we get told all the time. You told me, yeah. Say it in a nice way, though. Fable, say it in a nice way. I don't like Fable very much. You mentioned it at the start of the winter. Okay, you said it in a nice way. Oh, right. Are you not supposed to say if someone's told you something before? I feel like sometimes it's okay and sometimes it isn't, but I'm not sure whether that just depends on the autism of the person I'm speaking to. Or like the neurodivergence. Reciprocate the small talk, get more personal. Let's just get more personal. Rowan says I think it's usually fine. Oh, good. I'm so Annie says I typically don't tell them because I'm worried they might get mad. Oh no! Rowan says I may not be good at this either. Talon says I usually try to be gentle about it. I don't mind if people tell me either. Yeah, I would never say it in a horrible way. I try and be like positive and like I often even say if someone starts as like, have I ever told you this story? Like they're excited to tell it. Like I'll usually say, oh, I do know that story, but I'd love to hear it again. And then people will usually tell me it again. And that's fun because it makes them happy. And I get to hear a cool story. Do you like being farmers? Huh. I guess. Work's work. Our stomachs are full, days slow. We're fair to our workers and they don't steal or lie. Mayor ain't a swindler and your dad always helps and asks us for little. We ought to be grateful, and so I shall. Myself, I'm afraid of the routine. I'd like to have a taste of adventure, but you know, no legs. Never gets too boring, you know? Between all the sewing, weeding, ploughing, and weaving, there are distractions. And the family and a few friends. The tiresome part gets blurry, but they also pass the quickest. I guess it could be worse. Still planning to be a bard? Folk are getting curious. I don't know, maybe? Talon says, or you retell the story together. Wholesomeness? Absolutely. Rowan says, I have never had anyone get mad at me for saying that they told me something already. Yeah, it's okay, so it sounds like it's good. Tula says, I have a colleague who says, I probably have told this before, but I like it so much that I'm going to tell it again. And we always listen because he has such good stories. That's lovely! I have yet to decide. I don't think I've got enough charm. Come on now, your stories ain't half bad. Thanks, but most of them don't belong to me. I just repeat older tales. Ain't that what being a bard is all about? Gathering stories, making them stay with us? I hope not. I'd be happy to listen to a story. Now? That would be fun. Candles are boring. I'll do my best. I can't promise anything, but I'll do my best. I'm completely unprepared. I guess I'd have to improvise. Now, let me think. Our tale starts in... Ooh, the home of our hero, an exotic castle, the middle of a battle. Alright, everybody, get your votes in. The home of our hero, an exotic castle, or the middle of a battle for the start of our story. Tula says have to go and fix food for the family next. Alright, well bye Tula, thank you so much for being here. 1 vote for castle. 2 votes for in media res in the battle. Tula says maybe I tell them a story of Stabby McStabby face from Stabra. Let's see. 2 votes for castle, 2 votes for in media res. Alright. The middle of a battle. We'll go with that then. I'll be the deciding vote. Victory seemed to be within their grasp, but their defeat came from an unexpected source. Votes again. Fate, the vicious bandits, or the plague? I feel like fate and the plague are the most interesting two here. Rowan votes plague. calmly and story vote fate. Alright. Let's go fate. It's a prophecy. Oh, of course it's a prophecy. Just like the prophecy said, our hero had to leave her tribe and seek help. After the long journey, the hero had to oppose the grave enemy. Oh, the grave enemy? An evil king? An undead wizard? Or a monster? Well, let's not fight any monsters. We're pro-monsters here. We do hate evil kings, but that's pretty generic. Undead wizards are like a genuine real threat in this world. Annie votes the king. Rowan votes the king. Kings are make more natural enemies, right? The other two sound cute. I'm totally with you, Annie. Alright, we're going evil king. Stories about his greed reached every sea. To save everyone, the hero had to face an epic battle, an impossible task, a plot twist. Well, we've already had a battle. So, task or plot twist, everyone? Well, surely these are all supposed to be a plot twist. Why is one of them just called a plot twist? 3 votes for plot twist? Okay, we're going to a plot twist. It was too late to stop the traitor. And in the end, all was well. The hero met their demise. It was just the beginning. Rowan says, oh no, the hero is an evil king. That would have been better. Calmly votes for it was just the beginning. So does Story. Dave also votes beginning. We're going to go, it was just the beginning. It was only the first of many great adventures. You take a deep breath and turn towards the audience. I'm going to be honest, Fable, that was not a good story. Dave's just set up for that sequel. Trying to wring it out of them, huh? It didn't really happen, right? Correct. Nah, I made it all up. Knew it. Doesn't matter. We had fun, right? Good job, Fable. Lie, yeah, fun? That's all? Ugh! I'm just gonna, I hate lying, but my only options are terrible. Yeah, fun. Thank you? Thank you. Was nice. Almost done here. We're getting short on cotton after all. Work went fast today, thanks to our brave storyteller. For the final set of wicks, let's put some hemp to use. Come, Pudens, I know, I'll show you how. Annie said, who could have told that this didn't really happen? It sounded so real. Rowan says, lie, go with the lie. Yeah, I feel like Fable's instincts are terrible. So I'm much more tempted to lie as Fable. Huh? Why are you... Oh, it's the middle of the night. Vates is up. There's like lights flashing outside. It's the fire night, isn't it? I said wake up and get dressed. I'll grab us a few things from upstairs. I'm just gonna finish the scene, I guess. All right. It's so bright. Is this... Fire! Bandits! Possible. I haven't been outside yet. Stay focused. We've got to help the others. We've got to help the others. Exactly. Just stay with me. I've got your back. If everything's lost, we'll regroup here, then leave to warn the other tribes. I'll prepare us for the journey. Now follow me. Rowan says Fable's kind of a jerk. Yeah. Oh, it's Stabulus. Hope you got some sleep. It's going to be a long night. What's the situation? Our forest garden is shrinking with each breath. The beast won't forgive us We're doomed. What about Salvia and Yudi? Is Arata's family safe? Dad's with him. He'll keep them safe. It's Vina! We ought to focus on the village. Let's gather all the buckets we have at our disposal and choke the flames before they reach our side of the river. Why ain't Nalia here? Anyone seen her? I knocked at her door. She told me to leave her alone. Fable, go check on her and bring her to the inn, just in case. What if she refuses? And what if she refuses? You know how stubborn she gets. Then try to keep her safe. Keep the door locked. The animal should come at any moment now. Alright. We're gonna stop here, I think. Quick save. Menu. Big save. There we go. Alright, everyone. So that was a little bit more of Windy Meadow today. I think that went pretty well. I have to say I am not enjoying Fable as much. It's... I understand that he's meant to have been through a lot, but I think the idea that he's like someone who doesn't like to lie, which I relate to, but then his every instinct is to say horrible things to people, just kind of just rubs me the wrong way. I'm not very keen on him. But he's just one of the 3 protagonists, so we'll see how it goes. There's at least a little bit more of Fable's story to go, and then the last protagonist, which I think is either the end of the game or like opens up like a new phase of the game. I don't know for sure. Anyway, thank you all for your company. I am going to go now. I wish you all a lovely weekend, and hopefully I'll see some of you again soon. Goodbye, everyone.